We're rejiggering our PTO generator connection here today. Got so many comments from you that I felt the wall of shame from comments, so I'm going to try a different approach. I'll explain that as soon as we get this box here temporarily hung up.
I hate to ask, but please press that like button. It really helps us. Thanks.
This right here, this inlet right here is what most of you complained about. I know it's rated at 50 amps, but I looked this thing over good and I saw huge conductors compared to the wires that I was dealing with. Quite frankly, I was not going to pay the money. I think I saw between $700, sometimes even $1,000 for a 100 amp inlet. And I just wasn't going to pay that. So I was just going to get by with the 50 amp inlet. But you guys have got me shamed enough that I'm going to try a different approach. I bought this box. It's just kind of a general purpose utility electrical box. So it's meant for electrical supplies, but it's not got a particular purpose in mind.
I think we can call it installed, right?
Yeah, it's hanging sort of. It'll make it till the video's finished. So no, we've got to do some more on this. Contact! I think that contact line is Diesel Creek. I probably shouldn't have used that. I want to make sure it's off until I get it up to speed. So right at 60 hertz. Here we go. Now another thing folks commented on the earlier episode was how the power is lopsided. One leg is using a lot more power than the other leg. Quite frankly, I didn't know that until I hooked the generator to it. And I don't think anyone who has a home knows that. I would think that the electrician comes through and he tries to put the breakers on the right side, just kind of expecting how it's going to be. Well, in our case, we are heavily loaded on one leg and not on the other one. And I suspect a lot of people are, they just don't know it, just like we didn't. 3.1 kilowatt at this point. 22 amps on one leg and 3 amps on the other. $33 and 13 amps. She just turned the oven on. $41 and 18. 7.2 kilowatt. 7.4 kilowatt. 46 and 20. 7.9 kilowatt. It's still going.
Oven is preheating, fryer's on, and the cooktop is heating up.
Okay, that's all you got then.
One burner, not all 4 burners.
Turn the heat up.
Turn the heat up.
Now we can't test the emergency heat. It's just too warm here today, so we won't be able to get the emergency heat on. But we will be able to get the regular furnace on. A little more throttle. 51 and 26 for 9.3 kilowatts. No warmth at all. 9.9 kilowatts now.
Turn it up 2 degrees.
It turned on.
May not have turned on yet.
10.1 kilowatts. The peak has been 12.3. I don't know what else we can run. I guess we could run the lift in the shed or weld or something. Oh, she found something. 63 and 35. 11 kilowatts. Peak kilowatts is 12.3. I think we just about found the limit for little Johnny. Oh, here we go. Okay, we had a pretty big negative impact on the hertz at that point. We got below 50 hertz. So that was asking a lot.
I shut the dryer off. It was making a weird noise, like it's pulling it down and back up, down and back up.
And that's what we experienced. Once in a while, it would almost kill the tractor.
Yeah, and then before I turned the dryer off, I turned the burner up to high on my induction cooktop, and I could hear it drawing down, or I could hear my dryer or something.
Yeah, well, we were pulling the RPM down.
Yeah.
I think we need to try the other tractor. So can you go turn all the big stuff off?
How about the heat? Can we turn it back
Turn it
down?
back down.
It's off. I also realized that the dryer was on like normal mode, which isn't the high heat setting.
Yeah, but with everything else, we were doing plenty to tax little Johnny.
Yeah.
So we're going to get Johnny X now.
Okay.
And so it seemed to me like somewhere around 11 kilowatts, everything was going fine. And then when we tried to go a whole lot over that, we can review this in the video, and I'll kind of, if I've got any revised estimates, I'll put them right here on the screen. But somewhere around 11 kilowatts is where it says, I think that's enough.
That's enough.
We never noticed any warming of the wires going to the house through this time at all. Hydraulic oil temperature got up to 130 on the stock Johnny. Of course, it's a pleasant day. Oil temperature, or water temperature on the tractor was fine.
Okay.
Didn't get hot at all. So we're going to put Johnny X on it and see what happens from there. Now, if you see a big lightning bolt in the sky, where we've just lit up the entire state of Indiana with a big shock, that's because Johnny X is on this generator.
Everybody make sure to wear your ear protection.
It's loud.
Yeah,
It's going to be loud in your bedroom,
I know.
right beside the generator when it's running all night when it's cold. But you're going to be toasty warm.
I'm gonna go sleep in another bedroom, buddy.
Contact! Okay, try him out. Kilowatts. Ooh. 13.5. I don't know why it's shaking so much. Shake.
Oven's preheating, one burner on high, and the oven or the dryer is on medium. I turned up the dryer up.
13.8 kilowatts. This is the highest we've been, and Johnny X doesn't care. Find me something else. Turn on another burner.
I'll turn the dryer on high.
Okay. Crank it up. That all you got?
Heat up.
I think we need to, because it's for something is kicked off now. 14.1 kilowatts.
The oven had reached its preheat temperature, so I turned it up to 425, and I turned the heat up. I don't know if the heat kicked on yet, though.
Here we go. 15.3. 76 amps and 51 amps. Okay, I think you can shut everything down. We pre-drilled some holes through the steel part here, so we didn't have to tear up a steel bit out here. I'm gonna try to hold it what I consider about level with the brick. Dave's gonna put some holes in the concrete, or in the bricks. I'm gonna take this plug off right here, and then we'll direct wire right into the wire that I have sticking out there. Now, there'll still be somebody complaining, I'm certain, because people love to get upset about electrical. For example, so the whole reason we went with that interlock kit inside was to protect the utility. Make sure if somebody were out at the utility and we're running the generator that we don't shock them. Well, I had 2 or 3 commenters that just absolutely had a fit. Oh, you're being flippant about that. I said something about it would be shocking for their day. Some folks have no sense of humor, I think. Obviously, again, the whole reason we're doing this is so we don't cause damage. Now, what was it? How did I? Oh, here we go. Now, this wire that came with the generator is number 4 copper wire. Yep, a bunch of you guys are gonna have a fit. Oh, that's not enough to carry the load. I get it, but it's a very short run. And my understanding is that on shorter runs, you can get by with smaller cables. On a longer run, you need to have bigger diameter cables. In any case, number 4 copper is what we're gonna be using for this. If I burn my house down, you guys can say I told you so at that point. I'm a little salty about the comments today, Jack. Hey, on a prior video we did, Dave, you know, we kind of started this thing, Daily Doubtable with Dave. Mm-hmm. And a prior video, we got to talking about pirates being the reasons we're not on the metric system.
It's
right?
one of them.
And quite frankly, I didn't see any comments that really refuted that. The best they came towards refuting was they said, well, the article that Christy linked in the description was from NPR. So that itself was not trustable.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's the closest we got. So, but you know what we did get?
What did we
Your
get?
other statement. We chose the wrong Daily Doubtable with Dave.
Oh, metric on the moon?
You said there's no metric on the moon.
There's not.
Ah.
We looked it up because a commenter told us. The AGC, what is that? Guidance computer, the advanced guidance computer or something it's called, or Apollo guidance computer, did all of its work in metric.
Well, that's fine.
And it only converted it for the display to show it in feet and inches and
But
stuff.
the point wasn't that there's not metric on the moon. The point was Americans are the only ones that have made it to the moon. Hence, there's no metric on the moon. We are the only country that has sent a live human being to the moon.
I think we're going to have to ask for an arbiter, Christy, to come in and judge on this particular interpretation as to whether this Daily Doubtable with Dave is for real or not.
That's my interpretation.
And he doesn't really care. Leave your comments below.
Yep, go for it.
Sort of like the last time when he said, leave your comments, it isn't going to change.
Exactly.
Well, I thought that one was funny. That was good. Daily Doubtables with Dave.
Yep, we'll have to make it a staple.
Yep. We need a fancy little graphic. Now for Daily Doubtable with Dave.
Yeah.
So this is your white one. See the cool white tape there? Look how fancy I am. And then the other 2 are the power conductors.
And that is off, right?
We'll soon know.
Yeah.
If Dave starts smoking,
Yeah.
how do we know it's off, Christy? Because Dave didn't smoke?
No.
There's another reason. Where does this connect?
To the thing you put inside the house that can only be switched on if you use that whole mechanism.
The generator interlock kit. So if the main's on, this circuit's off.
And the
So-
main was on the last time I came out of the house.
I'm willing to trust the life of my friend Dave. So what are you saying that I'm being flippant about those with the utility?
He's not.
I didn't say I'd be willing to do it myself, but you know, it's Dave.
Remember, kids, smoking kills.
What do you think of that?
I mean, I suppose we could plug my phone in and see if it charges today.
Dave plugged his phone in And the wizards at Apple said, no, it's not a great time to charge now because it's not a clean energy time.
Right. They wanted to wait till later when it was be more clean energy. Cleaner energy. I think it didn't say clean, it said cleaner.
So now you can't even charge your phone when you want to. Let's kind of illustrate this, Dave, before we go any further.
Is that grounding?
Let's see if we can. Well, I really don't think so, honestly. The only thing it would be grounding would be the box. The idea was we'd fold this up in here and close the door.
Make a nice little clip in there.
Yeah. It's got an official key with it, but Dave figured out that Nipex will do the job.
You're more likely to have Nipex with you than the key.
Yeah. There we go. Protect our little...
So you don't get water and ice in them.
And there we are, all buttoned up.
Looks good.
Okay, so let's talk about what we experienced here. We got to about 11 kilowatts with the stock 1025R, and it began to pull the engine down pretty bad. I think that's about the peak for it. Then Christy went around and turned on every 240 volt appliance that she could think of. What'd you have? You had the oven, we have an induction stove. Hey, if you watched our Kubota versus John Deere episodes from years ago,
Yeah.
Christy put the leverage on me to get the induction stove. Well, we have that now.
My favorite.
We turned the heat on, but we couldn't get the emergency heat on. The oven, the dryer, one of the burners on your induction cooktop. What else? We turned the heat up 2 or 3 degrees so that we could get the heat to come on. That's about 2 kilowatts there. So
There wasn't very many lights on in the house, but they're all LED.
Some lights in the shed, just whatever
Yeah.
runs, whatever's running out there. So that's all we really could come up with. I think we were probably close to Johnny X's max. I mean, we could begin to hear him begin to lug a little bit. When I say max, we can't allow these tractors to lug down too much on a generator because they'll lower the frequency on the generator. So you got to keep that pretty close to that 60. And
Right.
so that's a reason for a bigger tractor on a generator. Now, I think what we've proven here on the electric part is that a 1025R is big enough for our house. Because I think we could get by with 11 kilowatts even in the coldest of the winter and allow the electric heat to run even in the emergency mode. I think we'd be okay with that. It's about 10 kilowatts for that. We just wouldn't be able to run the dryer or whatever.
Right.
Well, big deal.
At the same time. But you could run it when the high energy heat's not going, right?
That's exactly right. So yeah, you just have to be a little careful there. The tractor, the hydraulic oil temperature on standard Johnny got up to 130 degrees in the, 10 minutes we ran it. On Johnny X, we have the improved oil cooler, and it never saw more than 110.
Oh.
That's
So
pretty good.
there was a
Hydros
major
Plus,
difference.
thanks.
Yeah, Hydros Plus oil cooler, it really does make a difference. On the engine water temperature, I would say Johnny X got a little hotter. And we have found on the dyno in the past that Johnny X can get hot. If we just pull him constantly for 20, 25 minutes, he can get hot. So in the water department. So that's about what we've learned. Had a lot of comments about, hey, I can just put in a home generator, the auto start generator for nearly the same price. I get it. We try to show tractor attachments and show you the pluses and minuses. I think it would cost a little bit more money to put in an equivalent sized home generator. One of the advantages of a home generator that is important is it has a governor that's tied back to this frequency, and so it will increase the RPM on the engine or give it more fuel or whatever to be able to try to keep that frequency right at 60, so you'll be consistent with your inside. The tractor just cannot do that. On the other hand, we've got a lot of generating power here, right? We can use our tractor for other things, so we're not trying to make your decision for you, just trying to provide you valuable information.
But we can also, this is portable.
Yes.
If we wanted to run big lights out in the field or
A welder.
a welder.
Yeah, of course, you can buy a combination welderator, as they say, but you could also use this with a regular 50 amp MIG welder.
Yeah.
And we may have to do that sometime, you never know.
You can't do that with your standalone house
Nope, you
generator.
can't. You know, once it's put in, that's where it's going to be. So, so yeah, that's a big difference. Again, you decide. That's not what we're about here. We're more about trying to show you the capabilities. I thought it was fascinating, the difference between Johnny and Johnny X. You could tell it, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. That one seemed to, it got to bogging pretty good there for a little bit, and this one, it never did it. And you had the same stuff kicked on for both, right?
Yeah, actually a little more with this one. We went all the way to 15 kilowatts with this one, and it got to about to 11 on the other one, and it was not liking it. This is the first time we've really loaded the Hydros Plus turbo. The only times we've had it on a dyno has been with the previous area diesel, so this is the first real test we've given the Hydros Plus turbo kit. Hydrosplus.com, that's where you get the turbo kit, the improved oil cooler, the larger oil pump, a lot of performance parts there, and Kevin really, he does a great job of producing stuff that pushes the envelope, but yet does it in a fairly easy to install and fairly reliable way to do it. I mean, we've just not had any issues with his product. Hey, I've rambled on long enough. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks, Dave, for being a good sport about the Daily Dautables with Dave.
Absolutely.
And for helping me put this box together here. We're just going to tuck this cord away in the box, and it will be there the next time we need it. The only challenge we've got is if we do need this generator somewhere else. We'll figure that out. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile.
Uncontact.
Oh, see, there's another benefit of the Nipex. They got marks on them, right?
Yeah?
And with the Nipex, I can see when I'm lining it up. With the key, I can't.
Yet another benefit to Nipex.
Nipbacks are wonderful, apparently,
You would think that they would be like our #1 sponsor or something.
but they're not.
These are the 7-inchers. Get them at our Amazon store. Amazon.com/shop/TractorTimeWithTim. Where's my screwdriver?
I've got it.
Ah.